The following live broadcast is rated ESVPG. Well, you got some fucked up minds, so we can say some fucked up shit. Good evening, everybody. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a variety of topics. Failing at goals that you're trying to achieve. Hello. Existence of true love is something that somebody wanted to talk about. Illusionary jobs and what it takes to be on them. And anything you want to talk about. This is ultimately your show. So if you got a topic, anything you want to discuss, feel free to comment in the chat, and we'll do that with you because it is our Sunday open forum. You guys all ready?
Ready.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Gather together, always together.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Your Shoulder Voice here. We're going to talk about anything you want to talk about. It is our Sunday open forum, and we're always glad to do this with you because it's a chance for you to get anything off your chest you want to discuss. If you got a new promotion at work, we want to hear about it. If things are just not going well, you just broke up, we want to hear about it. Even if it's as deep as depression, we're here for you. Or as exciting as you want to talk about Suicide Squad. We already did that last week, but something we will do. So anything you want to discuss, just put it in the chat. We'll talk to you. Comment live with us anytime. Don't forget, while you're here, to like, share, subscribe, and follow to Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're on all those. As I said, chat live during the show. You can also call in by going to earshouldervoice.com/join if you want. You can join by just audio or video if you'd like to as well. But other than that, let's just skip all this and get on with the show. And we don't really have a show if it's just me talking, so let's bring in our panel. All right, please welcome our first panelist. Of course, do I even have to say who it's going to be? He's always here on Sundays. Please welcome Anthony. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing wonderful.
You should be doing absolutely amazing. This is our hangover shows. Sundays are hangover shows.
And I'm not hungover. I was actually quite productive today.
Oh, you did stuff. That's nice.
I did
That's
laundry.
nice. What'd you do?
I made enough food for me to have lunch all week.
Wow, so you're like set, so you don't have to do shit for the rest of the week.
Exactly. And that's why I napped. Because I deserve
How you
it.
pulled that off on a Sunday, I have no idea. Sundays are like the day you
Magic.
don't want to do anything.
Magic.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Well, that means you don't have anything to worry about. We're going to have your full attention tonight, and I like that. We might. I don't know. We might not
Sometimes.
at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's bring in our next panelist. He is the almond of our show. Please welcome Gabriel. Gabriel, how you doing?
What?
The Alan Almond of our show. Pillow talk.
All right.
You got that voice when you get deep talking something.
You know,
How you doing, Gabe?
Good. You know, I have to commend you on your lung power when it comes to announcing all of the shit at the beginning. As far as I don't know how you do it, and smoke. So that's really good.
Yeah, we'll get into the smoking aspect of it in a minute because that was something really that I thought I would be done with, but today was definitely, this weekend entirely was a fucked up weekend.
Sure.
So anything exciting happening with you this weekend? Anything good happen?
Yeah, kind of same as Anthony. You know, just taking care of business around the house and things like
You
that.
did too. What is with this Sunday? Why do people gotta get shit done? Sunday's like the day, even God fucking rest. Come on.
Well, but God didn't say party on Saturday, so
That is
you
true.
know, so it's.
I don't
it's a
know. I
makeup
don't
day.
know. I think God was partying on Saturday. Think of the shit he created. You can only do that shit when you're high and stoned.
Sure.
I mean, he had to be having some fun somewhere.
You make a valid argument.
Yes. I'm just saying. All right, let's bring our next panelist. Please welcome back the king himself, Bill. What's going on?
Oh, I'm not last this time? Hell, I love that.
You are last. I haven't
I'm
introduced
always last.
Well, technically you are. We don't have the new person on yet, so
Well,
you're last for a minute. You get to be last for a minute.
But the introductions of the pitchers, before the introductions of everybody, that last guy, the last pitcher you got up there, that guy's a stud, man. You see him? God damn.
The little ear, shoulder, voice logo guy? Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
cool looking.
Really
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
nice
so
try,
too.
I like that beard.
Oh, you mean that old guy? That old guy.
Hey.
We
Yeah,
found
he is
that
the
picture
old
in
guy.
the archives. I just threw it on there.
It's just
I
some
don't know where you
stock
found that
photo.
picture. I didn't even know that picture still existed until you put it up here. I said, where the hell did that picture come from? Because
I know.
one of the girls took that picture of me at the bar, and I was like,
I stalk people, I do. All right, now we've got
Well, I
one
know
more
that.
person. Please welcome for his very first time in Ear Shoulder Voice, our brand new panelist. Please welcome Brad. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. How about yourself?
All right, looking good. You look like you should be flying an airplane right now. I just got to tell you. I was like,
You know, man, I fucking get that a lot. I actually have the jacket somewhere. The jacket to go with the shades, man.
Nice.
fortunately, we
Oh,
don't
and
say.
he's
Oh yeah,
got
we kind of
wings.
can.
the need for speed.
It's the staircase behind him gives it away. He's not in a plane, but it's just that look. It's like, yeah, this is some serious shit, and I like that. So, how you been, Brad?
Good, man. Good. Just doing living, man. Like fucking Matthew McConaughey says, man. I'm just LIVIN, man.
All right, living the dream. Living the life. That's the
Fucking
look
living,
too.
man.
He's kind of got that look going too. And I dig it. All right, so let's bring up a few things to start with our conversations. Again, in the chat, feel free to comment on anything you want to talk about, whether we're currently talking about that topic or not. We'd love to hear from you, and we will gladly switch gears just for you. But we're going to start with this lovely thing.
Dick.
Failing at your goals. Failing at your goals. What happens when you fall off the wagon? You're hungover. You guys are hungover mostly from drinking. Me, I've got a cigarette hangover because last night I DJ'd a wedding and oh my god, I bought cigarettes and I smoked, I chain smoked, and oh, it's killing me right now.
Sure.
Can't
So-
blame me this time.
I'm not blaming you this time. You started it. You're the reason I was able to have one or two a week or a few each week. But that's because you're my friend and I love you. So what do you do? How do you beat it when you end up falling off the wagon, whether it's drinking or smoking or something? Do you think you should just give up and it's going to be back?
No.
Joe's here. Hi, Joe. He says, great topic. Great topic. And thank you. We always appreciate that. Joe, I feel like I know him already.
Last name's familiar.
It's
Yeah.
very familiar on there.
I would check
So-
ancestry.com.
So has anybody had
There
that
might
problem, whether it be
something there.
smoking, drinking, where they've tried and they just couldn't do it?
Yeah,
On there.
I mean,
Uh,
it happens.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, you fuck up every now and then. You just gotta keep on fucking trucking, man. You know? Don't give up.
well,
It's,
I mean, I'm still going to try. I just hate when it happens because some people get so down on themselves. I'm not. I said since the beginning, I'm like, I don't know exactly if I'm going to be able to do it this time, you know. I'm going to try making it longer. I'm doing fine. And if you fail, you do. But it's got to be hard. A lot of people just look at it as suddenly they can't do it, period. And what
My
are your
thoughts have always
steps to
been,
keep...
don't be a quitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be a quitter. Well, once you quit, and if you want to quit again, you have to start up again. Because you can only quit
Right,
something
but
once. So if you want to quit it
If
again, you
don't
got to
quit-
restart.
If you don't quit, then you're fine. So
Joe here says so many things like that. What's some examples, Joe? What are some examples of things you've tried to and have failed to quit at that time? What about you, Gabe or Brad? Well, Brad's still smoking, so smoking doesn't work. there.
Yeah, I quit for 4 years.
oh, man.
Now, just like
Good job.
I believe just like Anthony is my downfall, I think I was kind of Gabe's downfall.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Even so right now, because I wasn't going to smoke this whole show, and everybody's smoking, so now I want to smoke.
Yeah, I have them left over. I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit there, just leave them there. I'm going to smoke them eventually.
I might have
Hopefully
to go
tomorrow I can
outside.
try again.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody.
you have different things that you know affect you
Peer
as far,
pressure.
as far as that and stuff. So
How much has anybody like tried the medication or anything like that to try to quit what they were doing?
You know, I was
Oh,
going to.
Yeah.
the patches and all that shit, no, doesn't work.
No, what about you, Brad?
Yeah, the gum. I tried the gum, man. I tried the gum and didn't work, man. I even tried that vape. It's just, it's not the fucking same, man.
See now,
It's-
gum just like burns my mouth. It's weird. Nicotine gum. I don't.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
too
feeling in my
much.
mouth.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
too much
Yeah.
too fast. Yeah. You got to
And
spit it
vaping-
out.
man.
Vaping makes me want a real cigarette more than anything.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
Know, it
You
doesn't
don't get
destroy
that actual feel.
it. What about you, Gabe?
Yeah. The first time I quit, I had a vape, but I was also sick, so I was able to kind of sleep for 3 days. And
That helps.
that just being unconscious is probably the best.
Most of the
Method.
time when I've quit smoking or something, it's been because I was sick for a few weeks.
Yeah. And then this
Most
time
of-
around,
And that honestly does help. But you also have to remember, though, as far as smoking, it's not always just the nicotine. It's the
Something to do.
I have to do this. I have to do this. It's all that shit. So
Like I said with me last night, it was the wedding, and I was in a corner, unfortunately. Now, I'm still at the show, but when I'm in a corner, I'm not interacting with that dance floor the same. You know, I'm not behind there moving, so I'm sitting doing nothing, and out of boredom, I just want to smoke, and that's why I end up chain smoking. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I quit smoking and drinking for 8.5 months while
Nice.
my daughter's mother was pregnant with her.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad died right after my daughter was born. And unfortunately, I sat in my dad's chair in my mother's driveway and had a case of beer and a carton of cigarettes and told everyone just to leave me alone.
Literally, for
And
me,
everything-
both those, or
Yeah, I get
the
it.
2 times that I quit for a while and restarted, when my mom passed away, it was instant. Like, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to sit and smoke. I didn't drink as much because I've always been one good not to drink when depressed. Only because I work in bars, I see it so much, you know. So I tried to avoid that, but that's what did it. And then when my grandma died, my grandma was actually a very, very bad. She made me smoke way too much because she was such a sweet lady. Every time I would quit, I would not smoke for 3 weeks. I would come home and I would see like a carton on the table. She goes, "Well, I noticed you haven't been smoking. I figured you couldn't afford it, so here you go."
Thanks, Grandma.
My friends used to tell me when I tried to quit smoking for a while, you know, and it got into like 13, 15 days, and we'd be hanging out somewhere, and I was like, "Get away from me, shut up, fuck off." They'd like, "Just have a fucking cigarette, will ya?"
Right, because it doesn't go away. That's the one thing. The cravings, when I've quit before, I didn't have the cravings really. Maybe for a day, and I was fine. This time, every single waking minute, I'm like, I could just get cigarettes. I need a cigarette. You know, it just isn't going away. You said something earlier, Gabe, about this time when you try this different.
yeah. So it's in the works, and we're going to be trying it. So I was going to get on the, what is it, the medicine? What is that called?
Chantix.
Not the
Chantix, right? So, which just got recalled
again.
recently
Yeah.
for having
Yes.
cancer-causing carcinogens in it.
Oh, joy! That was a nice trade-off there.
Right. So there goes that idea.
They took what was it? I think it's is it Rantadine? I think it is. I don't know. Remember, one of these was to quit smoking. They gave it to me a while back, and it fucked me up. It's not naproxen, so it's got to be the Rantadine. And it
Well, you're
fucked me.
supposed to take them all, then it works better quicker. So, right?
That's my second refill. I took them in one day. I was like,
Waking up
No, I
is
mean,
the hard part, though, I think.
and I think Anthony was actually at the bar that night too, and Josh, one of my friend Josh was behind the bar, and I was fucked up. I could barely move. I felt like I was going to collapse. I couldn't think. I couldn't see straight, and I was like, I am not taking this shit. Some of the drugs are far worse than just the addiction, than wanting it.
Yeah.
And they don't even tell you all of the problems that you might have when you take them. They have all that list right there, but you can dig deep and say, oh, there's this and this and this and this and this, and then you come to find out what the hell.
Yeah, and they'll tell you like
Like-
some of them, and I literally thought I was going to die. Now inside, I'm like, it's got to be the medication. I know I'm not going to die, but I just felt like it, and they didn't say anything.
Right.
And but when he gave it to me, no, there's like no side effects or anything. And I ended up looking it up, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, check.
Yeah, you search it through. They did
I'm
the
like-
same thing with me when I had the migraines. They gave me the Umbrevoli, which is a new drug out.
Mhm.
Well, I took it, and for my migraines, and nothing said anything anywhere, but all of a sudden my skin started peeling off,
Yeah, okay.
drying up and
Really?
peeling off. And
Yeah.
you dig into it, it's like, oh, one of the things is your skin might dry up and peel off. I was like, holy fucking shit, why wouldn't your
Thanks for
doctor
telling-
tell you that?
Right, because what
So-
happens if they don't tell you? You think it's another problem.
So just may melt into
Yeah,
into
you
a
may
pile.
melt. You may be a pile of dust on the floor by the end.
Right.
And I found out that drug there at that point in time, not trying to switch the subject, but it stays in your system for a year.
Yeah, it's
Even
Oh.
if you only take it for a month, it stays in your system for a year. And my skin on my forehead still kept peeling off and shit. And my friends are all like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I was like, "I have leprosy. I'm sorry. Let me touch you."
oh shit, there goes my arm.
It's all good.
Right?
Oh god.
Oh, God. All right, so still keeping in with it. Actually, a lot of this stuff's going to relate to the same stuff. We'll go actually to another topic brought up was the illusionary job, and we've all pretty much been there in the bar business, I believe, and that is, I think, one of the most disillusioned jobs in the world. And I'm going to start with Brad. Brad, what is your idea behind these illusionary jobs where people think they're easy, but bullshit? Good talk, Brad. Good talk. All right, now I was like,
Well,
I think we
I mean,
might have lost some audio with Brad. I think he
people
might have
think you
froze
just
up.
walk around.
Oh, there he
Yeah.
goes. Go ahead, Brad. Brad might be frozen. Yeah, if you can hear us, Brad, just log off and log on really quickly for us. That would be great, and we'll get back to that in the question. Let's go to Bill then on the illusionary job, and we'll get back to Brad when he gets
Okay.
back on.
Well, everyone thinks working at the bar is, great, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You work the door, you bounce, or whatever you want to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Keith, you know where I worked at. I worked at Club Royal, Dazzle's, Jumpin' Jacks. I mean, it changed names 3 times. And I worked there, and before that, I worked at New York. But the thing is you work there, all right? And everyone's like, oh, you're the bouncer. It's great. And it's like, no, it's not,
Mhm.
because you have to deal with all the drunk-ass idiots and shit. And don't get me wrong, because when I was in the bar, I was one of the drunk-ass idiots. But
Right.
I always had respect for everybody when I was in the bar because I didn't want to do that to them, knowing what I had to deal with all the time.
Yeah.
So,
What about
and they,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about anybody? Has anybody on here thought that it was a cakewalk job before actually doing it? I don't know, Gabe. You ever done anything in a bar before?
I was a waiter in Birmingham for about 2 months, and I worked on the patio of sort of a higher class establishment that had a full wine list and all that stuff. And going into the training of it, we went into sort of wine school and all this other stuff, and I found out very quickly that it is a very difficult job, and I was not meant for it. So, they put me on the patio, and sort of my last straw was I think I had like a 10 top one time that had like a $300 bill, and they skipped on it.
Oh, did that come? Did you have to pay for it?
I didn't, but
Yeah, that's good.
but that was just kind of it, because it was, one of the biggest tables I had, and I was hoping to get a good tip from it and all that stuff, and they just left.
Now, before you did that job, did you think that it was not as hard of a job until you were actually in that field?
Not necessarily, because my brother had been doing it.
Jumping jacks used to be
And-
awesome.
I heard a lot of war stories from him and things like that. So he's the one who always sort of taught me the etiquette going on as far as tipping properly and not being a cheapskate and all that stuff, and not being a dick when it comes to people accidentally bringing the wrong food, sometimes and stuff like that. So
Right. It's the asshole customers, too, that definitely make it not so pleasant sometimes.
right.
Well,
for
it's
sure.
always like that, yeah.
Yeah. What about Anthony or Bill? Did you ever think that these jobs were easier before you did them?
Not really.
Go ahead, Anthony. I'm sorry.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
think they were easy, but I will say I underestimated it.
That's a good way to
Right.
put it, too. Yeah.
Like I knew there was a decent amount involved into doing the jobs, but actually doing it, you kind of realize that there's a lot of little things that you don't see unless you're working.
Right. And it's the
Right.
nuances
Yeah.
of the job that you don't realize. And we were
We
going
had
to
the
say, Bill?
things, I mean, when I worked the door, all right, I mean, I took everyone's ID and shit like that and cover charge and everything like that. And way back in the day, the bar that I worked at, if you were underage, you had $20, you gave it to us underneath. But the whole thing is I tried to tell the bouncers there whenever I ran the bar, because when I was a doorman, I tell them, I said, this is what's going on and this and this. And I said, you got to watch your guys when they walk in and know what they look like and know how they're acting and stuff like that. And then you're thinking, all right, I'm making $25 an hour cash and shit for fucking 5 hours a night or 6 hours a night. But then all of a sudden, some guy beats up his old lady on the dance floor, Then you throw him out, and then she tries to attack everyone.
Right.
And I had that happen the one night. The guy beat the chick up on the dance floor. I called Paul and Ralph, and they came in there and they fucking pulled the guy out. And she came at me and she's yelling at me. And she was a decent sized girl. I mean, she was like 5'10", and she pulled a fucking hat pin out of the bottom of her purse that was about 6 inches long and tried to stab me. Only time in my life I ever hit a woman.
Wow.
Well,
And
there's
I busted her in
when
the
you're
chin and broke her jaw.
unfortunately, when you're bouncing, sometimes you gotta break these rules a little bit. There's nothing
Right.
you can do. You've got to restrain or do what you got to do, or sometimes they're just going to attack you in ways that you have to defend. Welcome back, Brad. Did you like move to another part of the country because it was like all bright and everything? Now it's all dark. What happened? Sunglasses are off. Nothing. It's just.
I
Sunglasses
told you, man.
off,
The
it's all
fucking
dark
time
back
traveler,
there.
man.
I know time traveler's
Yeah,
right. It's all
real-
nighttime
Real
now.
fucking hot outside, man. Like 35 degrees outside today, so I came inside. Yeah, internet's a little bit better in here.
So, Brad, this
Okay.
was a topic that you were interested in too, and I know you got caught off when we were first asking. So, what is your idea? How has it been an illusionary job for you that people think it's just so simple?
Well, I mean, people don't ever have to really be in it, right? You know, they're just kind of watching it happen. They get to go
Yeah.
home at the end of the night. And I mean, I'm not trying to be like, it's the fucking most dangerous job in the world. It's not.
It can be. It
It
really
can be,
can
yeah,
be.
it
We've
has
all
to-
been there, yeah.
It can. I mean,
I've
those
been
fucking
I've
nights,
been
man.
stabbed 3 times and shot 6 times.
Shot, eh? Fuck. I've been stabbed twice.
You time travel, he's just invincible. He just comes back from the dead. So we got
I would-
everybody's got their.
I would have been
strengths
bouncing ram's horn after I got shot the first time.
here. Yeah.
I like Big
Yeah,
Brother, you know.
hey,
like-
the first time I got shot in the ass, and I didn't know I got shot in the ass. So,
yeah.
Yeah? Really? Fuck.
How do you get
But-
shot
but the
and
funny-
not know you got shot?
because I
It's a
was fighting
thick
with
ass.
someone and I got shot in the ass. But the funniest thing was, is I go to the hospital and laying on the table, and the nurse I did the old thing. It's like the nurse you got shot in the ass. I says yes. Can you suck the bullet out? I thought she was going to kill me.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not surprised that you said that, Bill. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not ever surprised by anything you say.
Did she just
Anybody
pull out-
out there
Did
do
she
a
just
job?
pull out
Anybody?
the paddles? And she was like, "We're losing him."
And anybody in the chat that does any kind of job that other people seem to think is an easy job and it's so much work behind it, let us know. We'd love to talk to you. Just enter it in the chat. As I said, people often think the job is easy. Now, has anybody ever dealt with that with the actual bar clientele you're working at in this particular situation, where the waitress thinks that the bouncer has it easy, or the cook thinks that the waitresses have it easy, and nobody understands or can't even relate the work that goes into that?
I have been
Yeah,
at
I
a
worked
bar
at-
before that the bartender thought he was in charge of everything and screwed over the karaoke host and the trivia host. So
I definitely can relate to those kind of places, 100%. I was like, what were you going to say, Brad?
No, I worked at a place like that, man. Here in Brandon, it was. I don't want to say the name of this.
No, yeah,
for-
it's fine.
for reasons. But it was the same thing, man. Cooks thought the fucking waitresses had it easy. The host thought, he had the hardest job. It's like you got to fucking set people, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, come fucking, But,
And that's what happens a lot.
No one's ever on the same page.
I
You
do
know, it's-
I've done the bouncing before. My main job is DJing. It's karaoke, it's DJ and all that. And most of the people in the bars and stuff think it's the easiest fucking job in the world.
It
They
is.
don't know the stress. And then certain people work for me for a moment. And as they work for me for a moment, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how much you deal with. How do you handle that? And how do you deal with it?" It's time to play musical tiles. There we go. I was like,
well, I
He
mean,
put baby in
Keith,
the corner.
Keith, even though from my experiences with you, all right, even though you weren't the bouncer there, you were still the bouncer
you were
there.
still the
too.
bouncer there. Yes, I was combo.
Even though I was there, and I wasn't even the bouncer, I always knew that you would be there if something happened. So
Yeah, and it's become half of it's the size. It's the intimidation thing. They want the big guy. And I always tell people, fear the small ones.
I do
ones
have-
big
well, that's
ones.
me.
Big guys
It's the
don't
ones who
wanna
have something to
fight.
prove. Technically,
Yeah,
you know.
Big guys are
I
just
am.
like,
I
yeah,
am.
whatever.
What do you call it? Strike force Z. Boom. No.
Yeah.
I do have one job that I did that I heavily underestimated, and I was 16 years old. And I may have brought this up before, but I was the Easter Bunny once for about 30 minutes. And never did I realize, because I'm not a claustrophobic person, really. But as soon as I put that on, I realized, okay, some form of claustrophobia I have, because I was basically taking pictures with a bunch of kids in, again, a well-off hotel in Birmingham. And underneath the mask, I am dying inside.
You know,
So,
oh, go ahead.
so yeah, I did it for about 30 minutes. I'm like, yeah, can't do it. So now, every time I've gone to Disney World since then, I'm like, I really respect what you do.
Oh
Mickey.
shit, Brad's magic micing on us.
Calm
Man.
down, calm down. You guys have to pay for that one.
Hey, don't get in that challenge with me. I'm gonna win it.
Oh, God. See you guys later. I'm going to go smoke a cigarette.
right. On there. Now
you
we
going,
talk
man?
about the bar jobs because I think bars are one of the most unrelated or underrated jobs out there that people just don't think you do anything. They think bartenders just get to talk and have fun and chat with all their friends and drink. They think the DJ just sits there and hits buttons. Nobody cares. They think
'Cause
the
he
bouncer
does.
just has to look at fucking IDs and stuff like that. Damn, Anthony, your connection keeps going in and out. It's weird. I was like, shut up, Anthony.
I only say that because I worked for you last night.
I know you did. You filled in
So
for
you
me.
know I'm not being honest.
That's why I'm giving a big fuck you, Anthony, right now. But you did, and it's true. But even at the bar, like I was saying before, like the waitress one time told me at one of my bars, was like, "Hey, we got to run around. We don't get to just sit there and do nothing." You're like, I'm like, do you have any idea what actually goes on? And her boyfriend actually runs karaoke with me sometimes, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's one of the hardest jobs. You just don't see the stress involved," and it really is. But it's not just in the bar business, like Gabe was saying with his Easter Bunny costume. You don't see how much pressure people are in under there. Those people are even standing on the streets with a sign, twirling it, and it's a lot of work.
Well, the most ironic and iconic sort of vision that you see driving past is, you see those guys dressed up as the Statue of Liberty around tax season, and it's always the people that are doing it, because that's the only job they can get. So the outfit is always very disheveled, it looks just thrown on and not cleaned, and it's sort of a perfect representation of capitalism.
Yeah. And that's, I don't know. I you drive down down the road and you see these people and you just make fun of them, and you don't always see the work involved in doing stuff like that. And I think it do a lot of people good to try to actually put yourself in the shoes and realize what anybody goes through in any job. And if you're not a Walmart greeter, there's always an aspect that is difficult. Walmart greeters are too, but whatever. That. So let's continue. Anything else on the illusionary jobs? I'm not getting a lot of comments today, but that happens sometimes. But feel free to talk to us about anything. Anything else with that? All right, let's.
I just wanted to add something that Bill had said there, that you tried to save a girl one night and then she fucking came after you. Yeah, that shit happens a lot, man. That's how I got
Yeah.
stabbed the first time. Right on my side here, man. Tried to save the fucking girl, man. I fucking had the guy down on the ground and she fucking shoots me in the side, man.
And it's those backstories nobody ever sees. They
No,
don't.
no one gets it, man.
Yeah, and it's
It's,
really hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, man. I've gotten
Yeah.
really fucking injured doing that job, man.
Sure.
And put through
It's-
tables and shit and stabbed and.
But it's all fun, right?
Oh yeah, it's just good
Don't get me
times.
wrong. I've had a lot of good fucking
They
times.
have their moments.
A lot of good times.
I grant to everybody that says the job working in bars is easy. I will grant them the fact that there are some fun, rewarding times in the business, without question. But it is coupled with a lot of stress and a lot of bullshit in the back. And you don't realize, just like your waitress is serving you, and always ask yourself, what kind of asshole are you and then you know what we as the bar people have to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, in spades. You know, and it's ridiculous. So COVID, I'm going to bring it up really quick. Obviously on the decline and on the rise again. Well, Tuesday, I decided, fuck it, I'm going to a concert. That was an amazing experience to see the world kind of getting back to normal. You know, it was a last minute thing, just got tickets, full show. The stadium was absolutely full. They weren't for the first two bands. When Green Day came out, they were fucking full. Like, everybody was there. It was the, whatever, the mega tour, the mega...
Hella mega
There's
tour.
Hell,
Weezer
Mega
and
Tour, yeah.
Weezer and Fall Out Boy, right?
Yeah, Weezer was the second act. There was, the Intimidators, was it? Or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Constipators, yeah.
And then, the Constipators, yeah. They just took
Yeah.
forever to come out, though.
It's my favorite band.
It's really painful.
Yeah, it was. Then it was Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and then Green Day. And I'm glad to see that getting back, but do you think we're going to cause this to go into another dive? I don't know about in Canada over there. Are you dealing with any of that right now?
You know what, man? We were locked down for a long time, like everyone in the world. But you know, we had here in Brandon, we had our things had kind of lightened for a bit, and then everyone went out, and then like a week later, it was like, oh, back in, and then a month later, you get to come back out, and then there's so many people out. They fucking tell you there's like more numbers, and then everyone's got to get walked back in. It was a real up and down kind of thing here.
So,
it was
so
fucking
over
brutal.
over there, are they doing mandates and are they doing lockdowns and things like that?
Oh, they were. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh, geez, we're talking to people I know. I thought it was just the U.S.
Oh man, we had our restaurants closed, man. Small businesses were closed. Fucking coffee shops were closed, man.
Not you, Anthony. Other
Because
people.
no one was allowed to go anywhere. Man.
And what's the most
Got
recent?
sucked,
When's the most recent that they did that?
Most recent that they had the lockdown was a couple months ago.
Okay.
That's all gone now. We get to walk around without fucking masks on now and
Mhm.
go into everywhere, and that's fine. But I definitely agree. I think there's going to be another drop.
I do
Yeah.
too. Hey Joe, how you doing tonight? Yes, what the topic goes. We talked about a few different things: losing our jobs, failing at goals and successes. Currently, we're talking about going to a concert that was absolutely amazing, and everything's getting back to normal, and also the effect of what has been happening. Is it good, bad, up, down? Do you think we're going to go back to that? That's currently the topic at the moment. Anthony will be back in just a second. So, where is the medium on this? Because I believe that we're headed to a downward fall again, and as people, we're kind of fucked up because we don't know what we want. We want everything to be open because hence we'll be careful, you know. Then what do? We swarm and overpopulate everything. We cause super spreader stuff to happen, and then we get shut down again. And this has happened a couple times already, and I think in every country this has happened, yeah, that are doing it. But then we're going to bitch if they shut down again.
Friday was 3,100 new cases,
In Michigan.
and all they have to do is, I mean, honestly, my thoughts, and I don't judge anyone to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
but if you want to still go out and do what you want to do, wear the mask for a little while and give it a time and hope it goes down. I know the Delta virus, like I said, it's mutating, and it's the same
Right.
thing we talked about a while back, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
We did.
mutate thing and stuff like that, and people don't understand it. And I try to tell people, I said, you watch the movie Outbreak, it'll give you an idea of something. Don't live in all of it, but it'll give you an idea of what the hell goes on with the viruses and stuff like that, and what goes on. And I try to tell people, COVID's been around forever.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not to this point.
coronavirus is a general term for several of the SARS type infections.
You're right.
And
Right.
COVID-19
Most
is just
common
based
cold,
on,
Just a
you know,
variation, sure.
2019
That's right. I meant
discovered
Corona, yeah.
coronavirus
Yeah.
form, and that's what it is. And now we get the variants because we let it super spreader. But my question is, as a people, how can we, fix it, per
You
se?
can't get enough people to agree in one way or the other. It's always going to be back and forth and fighting. So
Anthony, time travel.
We don't. The answer to that is we don't. We get to the point where enough people are doing it, I mean, the one thing that this pandemic has brought up is attention to diseases and viruses more than anything else before. Everybody has always looked at something like the flu and just sort of gone throughout their lives with it. And some people get the vaccine, or some people get the flu shots, some people don't, and a lot of people die. But it's generally not that much in the headlines or the consciousness of
Right.
what's
And
going
now-
on. This virus is problematic because it's not just a majority winter virus,
Right.
you know, and that's why it keeps staying in the headlines. So
It's gone through a year. Yeah, over a year now.
right, so
almost
they're at
two.
this point where they are getting enough vaccines out, and nobody wants their freedoms taken away anymore. Where there's not going to be any more shutdowns. They're not going to do it.
If it goes out rampant, you don't think that there's going to be a chance of them shutting down again because we're rising so quickly?
If
mean,
there
we
is
thought
a
that.
Oh, yeah.
deaths maybe.
Okay, because it's right. The same thing happened kind of in June when we opened last time. People swarmed. We thought it wasn't going to do us, and then everything got shut down. Well, I'm sorry, selectively shut down here in Michigan, at least. A lot of things were. Brad, I want to ask because you're in Canada right now. In the U.S., of course, and I'm sure you know about it. Vaccines are kind of a political thing in a lot of ways. Not for everybody, for a lot of people. Is that an issue in Canada as well? Are you having people that are refusing to take it or anything like that, or is most people on board with it?
It's, you know what, here it's about 50-50, man.
It is
It's
about
about
50-50.
50-50. Half just want to get it, half just don't. Myself, I don't really want to get it because I've never had a flu shot ever. And same thing as Gabe said, it's going to eventually slow down, and it's going to be like the common cold, man. And it's
Yeah,
gonna-
I think it will. It needs our help. It needs people to be a little smarter to slow down because when we're on the decline, at least over here, and we are on the decline in this, then we could follow that pattern and just be smart without having to be locked down, but we're not. Like when we went to this concert, I did not see a mask there.
I did.
And I didn't see him. Maybe there was one.
There was
somewhere, but-
quite a few people that were wearing masks.
but definitely not the 30% that are unvaccinated that would be following logically, per se, the rules. Like if you're not just wearing a mask when you go out was all they were asking. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you have to get the vaccine. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I believe that is ultimately your choice to do. But as long as we keep doing stuff like that, we're going to keep following in this cycle.
Right. Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And I
But
wish-
nothing's going to change that. No one, as a country, whether it be U.S. or Canada or these other states, you're going to have people separated on the issue, and they're not going to come together. One of the things back in the day when you had the flu coming out in the 1910s, and you had sort of tuberculosis and bubonic plague, is you had sort of media at the same time was mostly government controlled.
Yeah.
So you had a tremendous amount of propaganda, but it sent people on the same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in the day of buy war bonds and those types of things, you had everybody was more patriotic because
didn't
they
have
were
this-
sort of on the same page.
Yeah, there wasn't the split information
better or
that's
worse.
going on now, really.
Right. And
Regardless of which side you're believing in, there's split information.
And with
You
the
don't know what to do.
internet, now there are so many voices, as there should be, but there's no clear message anymore. And there never will be as long as it exists.
No, and the biggest thing that I've noticed is that there's a big divide being created between people like us, right? To where if you're on this side, then the other people are against you.
Right.
And if you think this way, then the other people are out to get you. And it's like, why can't we
That's-
all just have a discussion
and make our
talk?
decisions based on our own stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we try to do on here is actually just your chance to talk about it because it's not. Is it political over there, Brad?
Here in Brandon, it's a little bit. We're just a bunch of, fucking laid back fucking fucking papers here, man. That's
My kind of people.
we're all
My
just
kind of
lonely,
people.
man.
I was like,
We're just gonna
like
hang
fun.
back. We don't really care anymore, man. Up here.
that's
It's
why
been
that,
such a
and
big
you know,
thing.
that's kind of the attitude that would help people is to just not
Yeah.
care so much anymore about all this, and care about what is directly affecting you. How do you feel?
That's it,
What do
right?
you want to do?
It's just too much, man. You can only hear like new normal or fucking brand new cases or vaccine so many times. Where you just
Mhm.
like, you know what? I'm turning the fucking TV out. I'm fucking done.
Right.
Let me go.
And
let
if
me
you
go for
just
a walk, they got a mask.
And I believe you just ignore that stuff and you live your life how you want to do it for the most part. I mean, but consciously do the right thing that we could get a hold on this all over the world. It
Right.
is
Yeah.
believed here. You said a little bit political in Canada. It is like, I would say 95% political in the U.S. It
Yes.
really is.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna put everybody back into the it's your call and your choice, and if something bad happens to you, regardless of whether you get the vaccine or whether you get COVID, then it's on you. And that's how
100%.
it's gonna have to be.
That's I believe that too, and that's how it should be. I don't think we know that closing shit down is a bad idea, at least here in the U.S., because of the politics that are involved in doing it. Because it literally, if you close things down over here, it has nothing to do with the virus. It is a political move as far as anyone else is concerned.
And there's so
And
many
I-
levels.
Yeah,
Because I have family that, for very good reasons, they don't want to get the vaccine, which I understand. But they're still, thankfully, very careful with masking and, distancing themselves as much as you possibly can in, today's set. So that they don't bring it home to us and things like that. And I'm the same way, when I go to work, I mask up and stuff like that, mostly because it's OSHA regulation still at this point.
well, that's because you've got that. Well, you've got that easy job anyway. You just got to go install cable, like whatever. It's an easy fucking
Yeah,
job.
super fun.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking cable guys. But going back to the jobs, it's one about your job too. We didn't even really bring it up, and you're not in the bar part. But even in being installers, you've shared on here some of the shit you have to go through with that too, and COVID adds to it, as you've mentioned in some of your stories.
Yeah, I never stopped working, so
Yeah,
it was
All right,
fun
so-
at the beginning.
it always is. All right, so let's move on a little more. Our chat is slow tonight. Usually our chat isn't this slow. It's a little slow tonight. Everybody must be having fun outside.
It's a beautiful day.
But
Where'd Bill go?
I don't know. He just vanished. I think he lost connection or something.
All right.
He was just straight gone, and he hasn't even been online, so I don't know what's going on right now. I think he just lost the connection.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was nice to see though in the concert. It was nice to see concerts coming back. It was nice. It's nice to go to movie theaters for me because I absolutely love movie theaters. Like I said, I'd rather see a movie in a theater than I would at home. On most movies, there's like certain like dramas and stuff I don't really care, but most like the big budget movies, I need a theater. We already discussed that you guys don't like that, but I love it.
I like
Like the
it.
theater too, man.
What was that, Brad?
I went to see Black Widow yesterday, man. At the theater, it was fucking great.
You liked Black Widow?
I liked it too.
I enjoyed it, man. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
so
it.
did I.
It
I
was-
enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as a Marvel movie. I didn't enjoy it as a Black
no,
Widow
it
movie.
didn't. It didn't have the same feel to it, but it was
Yeah.
it was entertaining.
I
went
just
with
don't
the,
think
with the woman and the kids. So
they could have done that with any character, though, not Marvel, just a person. It would have been the equal movie. And that, I think, is what
Oh,
bothered
good.
me about it. It didn't seem like Black Widow's story as much as a story, and we're going to put Black Widow in it.
yeah, that's it. It was more
And I thought,
kind of the widows as a whole, not just her.
yeah. And I liked it. I went to see it with my brother, and I said, as a regular movie, I thought it was really good. As a Marvel movie, I did not think it was that good, But
Well, that's also going to be the last time you see Scarlett Johansson in anything related to Disney.
What
Now-
happened with that?
Yeah.
So with the distribution of that, she signed a deal with a promise that everything that they were going to wait, and they did wait because it was going to be movie theaters only. And then at the very last minute, so she got paid out, probably in residuals, and probably got a piece of the box office for the actual box office. And then they decided to release it same day through premium on Disney Plus, and they didn't pay her for that.
Oh.
So that's what she's suing for. Plus, they think it hurt the bank the same way that it's hurt Suicide Squad.
Wait, you can sue Disney? I didn't think that was even possible.
Well, you can try.
I thought they'd just
there's
send
a
a mouse
breach of
over your house to
contract.
shoot you.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how much we see Scarlett Johansson in the future.
All right, before we go into the, I want to see more of Scarlett Johansson.
I would
Just
like
saying.
to too.
I mean, not necessarily in a movie, but I want to see more of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
I
fair
was like,
Picking up what you're putting down.
Nice.
I was like, definitely do. So, Brad, did you have another topic on your mind that you wanted to
Oh
discuss?
yeah, actually, I was gonna come. I was gonna do the bouncer job, and then I was gonna tap into, because I mean we're not. I don't think any of us here are really all that young anymore. You know, so
I
we're
am.
gonna-
Bill's 29.
I'm young.
Keith's not, but everybody else is.
Yeah, gay. God, we just keep losing people on here. I don't know how it's happening, but we keep losing them. It's
Why,
weird.
man?
Get the fuck out of here.
Help!
And music. Gabe just does that because he likes the musical boxes.
It's
on there.
entertaining.
It is.
All right, so continue, Brad, with
Yeah,
you being not young.
as we all get older, right? We all kind of start to feel that age, right?
Yeah.
And again, we're all, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm hungover as shit today. And
Yeah,
I feel
well,
that
this is the
way more
hungover
now.
show.
And I
That's
feel
why
that way
Wednesdays-
more now.
That's why Wednesdays are like the deep topic shows. We have less hungover people, and Sundays like we're hungover. We'll talk about whatever the fuck. I was like, you bring it up, we're fine.
Nice chill show, man. That's all right. But yeah, being in your 20s, man, you go drink for like a week, and then get up and go to work, and then drink after work, and just keep fucking going, man. Now
We
that
were
I'm like
literally-
36, man, it's like,
Was it last week or the week before? We were just like literally talking about that and how our hangovers last longer, and now they're 3-day hangovers. You know,
I'm not that old yet, thank you.
You're 2-day.
Yeah. For really bad ones.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It pretty much increases. In 20, it's no days. Like 30 to 40, it's like 2 days. 38 or 30 to 38. 38 to 42 is like 3 days. 42 is pretty much you deal with it till death. So
Yeah, I just feel.
Karma
I feel like.
hangover.
I feel like shit naturally now.
yeah, I mean that's the problem, is it's combining with our natural everyday feeling. We already wake up fucking sore. We already can't get out of bed. We're already feeling this way, and now we're just adding to it. Before we like, oh, we got this energy, we can burn it off. Yeah, it's not the same anymore though. It's hard.
oh fuck, I mean, just again, yeah, everything hurts, man. You when you're younger, you kind of treat your body like a goddamn amusement park, you know.
You do.
Well, it is.
Well,
When
that's
you're
why
young,
they.
you
Say,
can.
It's like,
that's why they say
Hey, tell me,
youth is
you
wasted
fuck.
on the young.
Believe me, it wasn't
Oh, yeah.
wasted on me.
Oh, I'm sure you.
You know,
a ton of
but
fun.
they do. They and it's true, because that's when you can handle it and don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you finally are smart about it, you can no longer handle it.
Right.
I mean, in the fucking winter time, man, I got both my fucking knees are shot from just living, I guess, man. I got
Yeah.
no cartilage or anything, right? And in the winter time, man, I gotta fucking medicate myself just to walk around, because it's just terrible fucking pain, man.
It's hard, I
Fucking
think.
bullets, you gotta take
I mean,
care of
I
your
don't think
body.
any of us are old enough to have knee problems. I don't think anybody here. Oh wait, Anthony, you do. I forgot. You're old enough to have knee problems as well.
Only because I've had 2 surgeries, asshole.
There you go.
If
Anthony
it weren't for the
wishes he had that
surgeries,
button right now.
yeah,
That's why I hold the button.
Where's it?
I'll just remove myself.
Oh, there it is. All right. So, we're going to move on to talking
We
about
got
Keith.
it.
Uh-huh.
There we go. All right.
So how are you?
What's he fucking really like?
He's all right. You know, he's not the best. Oh,
Oh.
there-
Oh.
There,
I
I can
wanted to
remove
be in the
myself
hot
too.
seat.
I actually wanted to watch the show with Gabe and Brad.
there you go.
Oh, okay, we can do that.
Who doesn't? All right.
Yeah, man.
So yeah. So back to getting old. I could hear them in the background.
It's a miserable feeling, man.
I
Miserable.
know. hmm
It's
So you said you're 36.
36. I'll be 37 soon, man.
That's not fucking old.
Okay. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm gonna be
It's old
45
as shit.
in September, so I definitely feel you on that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
it's
like
just
the-
gradual aches and pains. I've been doing the job that I've been doing for 20 years, and carrying ladders, you know, through 3-foot snow and all this crazy shit up and down flights of stairs definitely gets to you.
It's a wear and tear, man. If
Yeah.
I could go back, man, I would have unmade a million dumb fucking choices.
Yeah, you know, it's the saying that work smarter, not harder. You know, I wish I would have done
Yeah.
that.
You get called
You know, it's
lazy a
always
lot when you do
lazy.
that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you get a lot more money.
that is true. Sometimes, if they pay you for what you're worth, which seems to be a problem.
It's always those people that are jogging on a Tuesday. You
Fuck
know,
those people.
just in the middle of the day.
Just like throw shit at them.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
all I do. That's all you can do. It's just like
If I
you're
have, like, a
making me
Slurpee
look
or
bad,
something.
motherfucker.
Be a fat ass like all of us.
There's,
That's right. You get lazy, get home, and watch some fucking TV on that couch with a pint of ice cream in your lap.
Damn straight.
Right.
and
Show me
there
X.
was a guy back home, man. He used to jog every fucking day, right? I can't remember his name now, but he never smoked, never drank, never ate like fats or anything like that. He jogged every day and drank water. Healthy as a horse, man.
Boring.
One day, man, I was jogging, man, fucking dropped dead of a fucking heart attack.
Well, you have
It's
to
hard to
temper
fucking-
your body a little bit. That's one thing people forget too, is you have to temper your body a little bit. You have to be used to, you know, foreign bodies entering. You know, whether it happens to be alcohol or cigarettes or anything like. You have to get used to that with your own body, or else the minute it does, you're at a disadvantage because your body don't know how to handle it.
But you also
Like-
never know. It's when your time's up, your time's up. You know.
Well, I,
That's it.
that's-
Some people can, you know, smoke and drink their whole lives, like Keith Richards, and wake up the next morning just awesome. And, you know, some people just can't do any of that, you know, or else they do nothing. They live a clean and healthy lifestyle and still end up going down at, you know, 50.
Well,
or
what's going to
60.
take you? What's going to take you? Like when I had my cancer, originally I was going to quit smoking at that point and shit, and then I was told literally the cancer had nothing to do with me smoking. It just happened to happen. It would nothing I did could have prevented the cancer I had. So
Why would the doctor tell you that, though? They should have just lied to you at that point.
well,
They should have just said, "Oh yeah, it was definitely cigarettes."
but I don't know. I'm honest, maybe I
I
might have found
guess.
that one. And it literally made me go, why am I trying to quit? Why don't I just live life a little bit? If something can take me like that, and I would have, when they first discovered it, they said it was like 3 weeks I would have had, which would have been a little longer, but because of what was happening, 3 weeks I would have probably dropped dead. I'm like, and I would have been trying to do all the right things this whole time and never lived. So why not just enjoy life if something can take you like that?
Yeah, it's a missed
Oh,
opportunity.
yes. I get it, man. Live your life like it's your fucking last, man.
And I mean, I do believe in not pushing yourself towards the grave, per se. But at the
There's a
same
fine
time,
line.
enjoy it. And like I say, our bodies need to be somewhat tempered. And I'm not going to get back into it, but the same with like the virus and the vaccines. If you keep yourself away from all viruses and stuff, all of them, not just COVID, anything, eventually when something enters your body does not know how to fight it.
Well, that's how your immune system builds.
Right.
By
Right.
going out and being around people and nasty things.
Getting sick.
Swimming in the
Fucking
Detroit
chicken
River.
pox, man.
No.
Well, that's
don't
why-
swim in the Detroit River.
No,
That's what really shocks me about
Too late.
Michigan having such bad cases. I'm like, we have fucking Flint and the Detroit River. We should be able to withstand anything.
right.
Like we're tempered and shit. like literally. It's like,
We have an amazing amount of iron in our systems.
yes, absolutely. Okay, so moving on a little bit, the other thing that somebody had brought up that I was going to bring up, and I said I'd bring it up on the show because they actually talked to me yesterday. I was DJing a wedding, and I had somebody was texting me and talking about how they don't believe in true love and all this shit and all this other bullshit. And I started thinking, well, for the most part, I don't either. But then when I'm at a wedding, I look, and you see that happiness, and you see that look for a bright future, and you know how miserable some of these people were before. And do you think it's right to give up on that chance of finding somebody? And the two who are married, I believe, Brad, you're married, correct? Nice.
Who, me?
Yeah, Brad. You're married, right?
Oh no, I'm fucking divorced. Man.
Oh, divorce. Okay. So, okay, you're a good example, too. Prior to that, do you believe, being divorced, that you should give up on the aspect of finding love again? And Gabe, did you ever feel that way prior to getting married?
Oh,
And I'll get to Anthony, who's still single like myself, in a minute. Go ahead, Brad. Brad has a weak signal outside, so
Okay.
he might cut out a little bit. So, Gabe, you go ahead first until Brad's signal gets strong again.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I was. I was in a relationship. I was engaged, and then she ended up cheating. So, it's in those moments, especially when you're younger, because I was probably about 20, 21, that everything is heightened, But at the same time, when you're in relationships like that, we were back and forth. And when we were together, we weren't happy. And it was sort of my first long-term relationship. So it was all that I knew. So you get that sort of doubt of, am I ever going to find anything better? And things like that. And then I dated, had a couple year relationships here and there and things like that. And I tried to actively kind of find what I wanted and not waste time in relationships where I wasn't getting what I wanted. And that's why when I found my wife, which we've been together coming up on 19 years now, it's definitely a partnership, and we don't have all of the same likes and dislikes, but we share the major thing, and that's that we care deeply for each other, and we don't get into arguments a lot.
Now, how long did it take you to kind of shed the idea that this is going to be another fucking ruined relationship? It's not going to work. So how long did it take you to actually accept that this is the one?
Sometimes it was just like 2 months. Sometimes like right at the beginning, when it didn't even sort of take off of the ground or get past sort of a few dates, just because of texting back and forth. And because when I get into a relationship, or when I did, I was straight with everything and my intentions and stuff like that. Like, hey, I like you. I want to spend some time with you. I'd like to see where this goes. And you get all the red flags, and if you've been in bad relationships, you learn them real fast, and you know how to identify all that shit that you don't want to deal with. As long as it's like a job.
And Brad, I think you're available now. Okay, so
I'm back.
going back to the question with you. That's okay. It happens sometimes when people go outdoors; they lose a little bit of the signal on there. But so first, when you got married, did you ever think prior to that point that the love didn't exist and true love didn't exist, or you weren't going to find it? And now that you're divorced, has that thought come back, or you just feel it's the wrong one? I'll find the right one.
Well, you know what, man? I was married for a long time, and then we just couldn't make it work. We tried for like 14 years to get it going, and we just decided, fuck it, let's part fucking ways and go on. And
So you said you tried for 14 years. How long were you married?
We were married for fucking 14 years.
Oh, for 14 years.
I
Because
just-
when you say trying to make it work, like I thought you were like struggling the whole time.
Well, we were like young, and then we had a kid, and we
Mhm.
thought
Okay.
that maybe getting married would make things better,
Yeah.
and it didn't at all. It just made things look worse.
It is a
And
common
then you're
mistake.
like- It is. You should
Yeah.
never get married just because you have a kid or you think it's going to make things better, because it will most times make things way better.
If you don't mind
for
talking
sure.
about it, just curious, do you think that it affected your kid at all?
Oh, 100%.
Do you think it would have
100%.
been better if you had decided not to get married? For your
I
kid,
think
do
it
you
would
think,
have been. I
you
think
think it would have been? And I,
it's-
that's I don't
the
mean to
thing is,
get
man.
personal, but
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine, man. I have no worries about talking about it. That's fine.
that's why we like you on here.
Well, I'll talk about anything, man. I don't give a shit. But yeah, you know, he's all kind of fucked up because he has to come here for a week and then to his mom's for a week, and his mom's real fucking spiteful that we fucking broke up. So she's kind of, for lack of a better word, she's kind of a bitch, you know.
Yeah,
Kind
they,
of telling
they
him
exist.
like that. Yeah,
They
but
definitely exist.
he's old enough now where he can see it's like, you know, mom's kind of the bad guy here. You know, she's saying all this stuff, and I come here and I see that you're not doing this. So he's starting to realize now. And
So is he like
it's just
15,
hap-
16?
he is 13.
13, okay. So it was pretty much when she got pregnant. Now, how do you feel now? Like, do you feel that there's... Do you think there's still something out there, or have you given up on it?
Oh yeah, I ended up getting shacked up with my neighbor,
Nice.
and we've been together for like a year and a half. Yeah, thanks, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
She's from the fucking Philippines, actually.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Get her on
yeah,
here.
she's real fucking sassy, and real small,
That's,
and real crazy.
that comes with the feminine genes. They're automatically kind of that way. Now, Anthony, you know I was going to turn to you at some point on this, as you hide behind your microphone,
You can't see me.
but we can hear you. So how do you feel about that? You're one who has gone through a lot of prospects in your life, I'll say. And,
You make me sound like a man whore.
well, yeah, you are. So, moving on. Do you believe that something's out there? Do you believe you can at some point possibly find it? Or do you think that it's just not for you? Or what is your opinion on that?
If it happens, it happens.
Something you're not looking for, but do you believe it can?
I fucking hope so.
That's a good way to put it, but that's pretty much saying no.
I fucking
But I
so.
hope it's out there.
Well, I mean, so a big downfall for me is I'm a chicken shit.
All right.
So even if there is a prospect that something might be able to come of it, my ass doesn't do anything about it.
Really.
Okay. Now,
So when
do you? Oh, go ahead, Gabe.
So when it comes to like long term, so have you had
Oh, in
many
general.
long term relationships?
I've not had a single one.
Really? So what was the longest relationship you had?
I don't know. Not very long at all.
Would you say months,
No.
weeks?
The night.
I think like I've been on a couple dates,
Okay.
Okay.
like maybe 4 or 5 in my lifetime.
You mentioned it's because of you and your
That's why
your
I laughed
chicken
when you
shit.
said I've been through a bunch of prospects.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, and as my way of saying it, because like you said, you're a chicken shit. You don't make the move, so that's what I meant by prospects are there, but you
I
you
don't
don't
do
go,
anything
you
about
don't
it.
follow through. Right, that's what I was referring to by prospects. But I liked your term man whore. That was good.
Well, because that's what it sounded like. Making
No,
it sound like I'm running through a bunch of ladies and.
But
not-
you're-
Well, I didn't want to say, Anthony, you're always running away from shit. How do you feel? So I was like, even
But you're a
Call it how
handsome
it is.
lad. You're a handsome lad. I'm sure you
Well,
have people,
People
calling
have told
you.
me this, but I don't.
do
see it.
you know the reason for your apprehension? Like, do you think you're afraid of what would become? Do you see other people married and like, no, this is
I
bullshit?
don't see why anyone would want to date me.
Okay.
If that
Well,
makes sense. Like, I know that's
New show
stupid
topic. No, that's
and all
another
of
show
that,
topic.
But like, all my life, I've never really been like, oh yeah, I'm a catch. So I'm like, it's not worth even trying because they're probably going to.
So
say
you
no.
you predetermine in a way that it's not going to work.
Yeah, I
Okay.
yeah.
Would you say you're deciding for them then?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I already know that. I was like,
All right. So
I'll
do you
do-
have?
I don't even give it a chance for me.
But you have ladies calling you, and then you're just kind of like, well,
no,
that's the end of that.
I don't really have ladies calling me.
I think
I've seen you at the bar though.
I was going to say. I'm like,
Okay, I've seen you
Well,
at the bar,
so-
and you have ladies.
So I have female friends,
Okay,
and you know, apparently sometimes there's something there that I don't realize.
all right.
So nothing ever comes of it.
It's the angelic voice.
That's all I got. I
It's
can
something,
sing.
though.
That's it.
Do you got
that's
anything to add,
that's a
Brad?
lot. That's a lot.
You got any thoughts, Brad?
You know what, man? I think the best way, if just to kind of focus on Tony here for a second, you need to put in your head, man, that she already said yes,
Mhm.
right? If you plan on going and asking the girl out, have it in your head, man. She already said yes. Now I'm just gonna go and make the fucking date now. It's all here, man. It's all here. Doesn't matter
There's
anything
a
else.
lot of-
Well, that's what he's
a
got
lot
to fix. That's
There's
Yeah.
a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
but that's a great way of putting it.
Sure.
Be
I mean,
the-
if she's
be the fucking date, man.
if she's calling, and you're able to maintain a date or a conversation, I mean, you're a
Yeah.
charming guy. I'm not going to kiss your ass the whole show, but I'm going to throw it out right now.
Gonna say I got to take me and Brad out. Let you guys have a
Right.
discussion here.
I can be,
Yeah.
unless I'm interested in somebody. Then I get like super awkward and turtly.
I think we.
I'm not even
Turtle.
joking. Like, if I have no interest, it's no problem.
Yeah.
But the moment there's a little bit of interest there, I run away.
I also I sympathize with that, actually, believe it or not, in a lot of ways, because that's how I am. And you suffer a little bit from what I suffer from. Is you tell shit like it is and you don't care. Unfortunately,
People don't like
a
that.
lot of women do find that refreshing, and they are attracted to that.
Really?
That's 100% true, because it's open, honest, and they like it. But when they get attracted to you, you're like, no, why?
They
You
can't
know,
be.
and you almost think something's up with it, and then I self-sabotage sometimes because I get it all. But that's what it is. When you're very honest, open, speak your mind, and aren't afraid to do anything, in your head it's just because, well, I'm fucking honest, I don't care. In their head, that's such a refreshing change from all the douchebags they're used to seeing, who are lying, trying to impress or anything like that. And when you don't do that, they find it attractive, and that's one of the things that draws them to you. And I feel the same way as a big guy. I'm always like, well, what would you see in all this? I mean, come on. I mean, besides being perfect in every way, what do I have to offer?
Yeah.
You know?
So
And
do you
I
have
don't-
a very specific type, or just kind of general?
Anthony?
Like-
or me?
I mean, either one of you.
Breathing.
Okay.
Breathing is good.
That's a bonus.
That's a good one.
Not
Good one to
required.
have. Not everybody goes by those rules these days, so it's good.
That's true.
It's good that you have that one at least.
Anthony, do you have like any kind of particular type?
I mean, of course, there has to be some sort of like physical attraction. But as far as like a specific type, no. For me, it's more of how I feel around them that determines whether or not I feel it's worth it, right? Because there can be a sexual attraction, but if you're only attracted to the way they look, you're not
Right.
going to have
Right.
a viable relationship.
So
like,
intellectually,
yeah, I have to.
you'd like to meet your
Get-
match.
I mean, that
Correct
shit
vibes.
happens, and then suddenly you get her pregnant. You're gonna have a kid, so you got to get married, and 14 years later, ends a divorce. It's just a terrible routine sometimes.
Sure.
If you don't find that out, it's It is, but when you feel that way, when you feel the attraction, and I'm actually asking because you're not the only one in the situation. Hopefully, people watching here can relate to this because there's a lot of people that do this. When you feel attracted, do you still run away when they show interest back?
Not always.
It's-
Not
What
always.
was that, Brad?
I'd say
Right,
some people totally would. I get it. I mean, you got a hot girl coming on. You think maybe she's shit.
Oh.
You think that maybe she's just gonna fucking, coax me into something. I'm gonna go inside her fucking boyfriend's.
Thank you for
fucking,
having short son.
Yeah, no worries,
I'm
man.
like,
I got
Tell me
short
on a
son.
cold day. Fuck.
I was like,
Could have gone south real fucking fast, eh? Had Brad on for his first and last.
I mean, I agree with Anthony. I do share, I think, more in common with Anthony. I do self-sabotage relationships. If somebody tries to get in, a relationship with me and they'll love me to death, and I'm like, this isn't right. And I always think, for me, I also look at the freedoms I'm going to lose. And because I've seen so many people in the past that do, they lose who they are, they lose fun, they lose entertainment, they lose being able to have friends or hang out with certain people. And it's just not worth it to me. I don't know if anybody, Gabriel, you seem to be in a good relationship there, but Brad said he struggled a lot. I don't know if he's related to any of those type of topics either.
Well, you do have to make sure that you are ready for a transition in your life where sort of those things, and it doesn't always apply to that. There are people that are together and they're married and they spend their lives sort of partying together and having a great time, and then there's people that want to settle down and spend their nights sort of inside watching movies and going out on the weekends. So it's just about finding whatever you're going to be happy with for the rest of your life, and that's the difficult part.
Drina, oh my God, we've missed you so much. I'm sorry, I'm cutting Brad off for a minute. I didn't hear what he said, but 1 second. Drina, so glad to see you from the sweet side of Detroit, Michigan. Glad to have you back here, Drina. It's okay if you're late because we just love seeing you. I haven't seen you in a week. How are things going with you, Drina? How's everything happening? All right, go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, just to tag on to what Gabe said there. I mean, me and my girlfriend, we like to get real fucking hammered sometimes, but it's usually always a fun time, and we like to go and see movies and shit. It's not
Now-
just one thing or the other,
Mm-hmm.
And not to put anything, but not to say anything's wrong with you or your girl, but in your own head, does anything ever happen during that reflects back to your previous relationship that makes you a little on edge or makes you bring back bad memories that you ever have to work at, even if she's at no fault of being herself, just something that reflects?
You know what, man? When I was married, my wife at the time accused me of cheating a lot, and that's fine. It was kind of a shitty thing to do, but my current woman, don't get me wrong, I fucking love her to death and all, but she can get a little jealous sometimes, and she'll assume that I'm like flirting with someone, or that maybe I'm trying to flirt, and it just kind of makes me think like, fuck you, man. Okay, I'm not doing this. I was
Right,
accused
and-
of cheating for like 50 fucking years, right? And
Plus you get
that's one of the
and-
reasons.
And when you get into those long-term relationships, especially, you sort of learn the language of that relationship. So with mine, I had a 4-year relationship that was very dysfunctional. And after that, I had trouble with normal relationships because I was expecting drama at every turn.
Well,
And
that's
sometimes when you see normalcy, you don't know how to recognize it
Right.
because it's like, why are we
It's
not
crazy.
fighting about this right now? Why are we not at each other's throats right now? Because that's how it
Yeah,
used
you
to be.
kind of put your guard up.
Right. And then at that point, it's like you start to question in your own mind. It's like, is this boring? Is this relationship boring? Because we're not experiencing that type of drama. Because I mean, it sucks, but it keeps it exciting,
It does.
To
Yeah, it's
So-
super boring.
right.
Drina,
So-
by the way, says she's okay. She's enjoying the weather. It has been a beautiful. We're obviously Michigan. I am as well, and it has been a beautiful weekend out, and today's no exception. So I'm glad you're enjoying that. We're all looking awesome. Absolutely, thank you, because we know we're awesome, and so
Thank
are
you.
you. So we're
And
talking,
humble.
and yes, we're very humble. And hello on that. And Drina, right now we're talking about people who think because of the relationships they've been in, haven't been don't think they can find something else, or feeling that maybe true love isn't out there or it doesn't exist. And what are your thoughts on that? We'd love to hear it, Drina. So,
Yes, please.
absolutely, absolutely. And back to what you were saying, Brad. Jealousy is one thing that throws me right the fuck out the window with a relationship. If you get jealous, I almost run, and that's where I become a self-sabotaging person. Same with
Well,
obsession.
jealousy
It's
is
those two.
horrible.
It's what?
I mean, it can fucking destroy a fucking thing, man. Fucking jealousy,
For
it'll
sure.
fucking it'll destroy. It's like a sickness, man. I mean, I fucking guess why she's jealous. She had kind of a shitty ex husband, man. You know, he'd fucking follow her around all the time to make sure that she wasn't out cheating, because she was fucking accused of it a whole bunch. And I guess she got kind of like a trigger for it now. It's like kind of assumes I'm out cheating. I don't want to say that it totally assumes it, but every now and then thought would be
Well,
in her
just
head,
like I asked you things that reflect back in your mind, obviously she's going to have some that reflect in hers from her previous
Right.
Absolutely,
relationships. And again,
Well,
from
as
working
opposed
in
to-
bars especially,
Yeah.
jealousy is a big factor. You know, because
Yeah.
most people who work in bars, you're single at the bar. Not one of the bars I work at, but most of the bars, you're single. You have to. It's part of the job. It's making the money. It's making them happy, and they have a hard time dealing with that. And I hate
fucking
the... Yeah, and I hate it. But do you think there's sometimes an unfair line? Like, if she gets jealous and you're constantly giving excuses for a past relationship, do you ever think that maybe that there's got to be somebody looking on you too for the same thing? Because she's like, you're giving excuses for her, but saying it happens to you too. Is there any kind of understanding of what they're going through on both sides? Should you both be willing to kind of accept this is a new person with a different life?
Well, that's just it. And we're still relatively new, I guess, like a year and a half in, and she had a way worse time being married than me, right?
Hmm.
Well, she had kind of an idiot husband. We'll just say that. So I think it's kind of harder for her to kind of settle in that I'm there 100%, right? You gotta kind of
'cause
accept that I'm not a piece of shit that she had.
At that point, it's the same thing. You're coming off of that, and it's an entire language of mistrust and dysfunction. And that's going back into that. It's like it doesn't necessarily, it shouldn't carry over to you, but
No, it shouldn't.
those
I agree.
instincts, right? Those instincts are sort of misfiring in
Well,
certain situations when they're not really warranted, you know. And that's where the jealousy comes from.
It's somewhere her fucking walls are still kind of up somewhere.
Sure.
She's still guarding, you know.
Right.
And those walls are hard to tear down.
They are. They're hard. Trust me. I have fucking walls too, man. You know, but I try to deal with it.
Mhm.
But we both love each other, so it's worth the fucking talk about it as like opposed to fights. Me and my ex-wife, we would just fight about it, but now me and her, we have to talk about it, discuss it.
The
Come to
best
an actual-
relationships that are going to work are the ones where you can do something to make the other person understand better and be better parts about themselves. And that comes from talking about it, not just fighting and I'm always right. So that's an important thing to have. Discrepancies and differences are very important in any relationship. Gabe knows this, as he said. Like, there's a lot of things that we don't agree upon, but at the same time, there's the ones that we do that really matter the most. And having that spark, that flare, and knowing when you learn something, there's an addition to your life. You're a better person than you were a minute ago, and knowing you can still do that is constant progression. And if you're constantly progressing, you're going to succeed. I
And
think
just
that's-
and not me and my wife, we got tired of fighting early. So before we met, we were through the ringer, both of us. So we were done with it. We didn't want to do that sort of relationship anymore because we had learned early on what we didn't want. So we've got into some arguments, but at the same time, it's never escalated to what we've had in the past, and we just we don't have the energy for it anymore.
Well, that's
And we
that's
were
also
so-
as you get older, you're like, whatever.
Right.
It's like, Drina, sorry, missed you. I said, right now we're actually talking about relationships. When you get out of them, how hard is it to get back and forgive other people, or do you still believe in true love at the end? And have you ever had any experiences like that, Drina? We were asking on there, and he's talking about what is making this relationship work, Brad, and with Gabe, what has made his relationship work, and Brad just, he's gone. So have you ever been in that? I know you've been through your relationship problems as well, Drina, and do you still believe in love? Do you still believe it's out there? That was what we were talking about. Brad will be back in a moment, I'm sure. And so, on top of that, you're right, Gabe. And Anthony, do you think there's ever going to be a future where you'll be able to be stronger? Is it something you're trying to do? Or are you really on the level of, fuck it, this is what I'm going to be forever? Or do you want to be better?
See, yes and no. I feel like in the past, if it's something that I think is worth pursuing, I will go ahead and kind of build up the courage to actually do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's only happened a few times in my life.
Do you think you have that capability really right
Yeah.
now, or do you think there's a chance that you're still going to run from it?
We'll find out.
Okay. That's a scary thought. That's the
I don't like to think about that shit, right? My mind wanders a lot about everything.
So, as an intellectual, do you think that you are searching in the correct places for someone to match yourself?
I'm not really searching.
Right,
So-
but as far
Are
as
you in the places
as far
for
as the
that to
dating
happen?
pool,
Yeah.
do you think it's going to be effective?
Probably not, like, logically, no.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Just to be,
Sure,
honest
sure.
here.
Yeah.
But you never know.
College classes, man.
Every now
Just
and
take
then.
piano or some shit, you know? Just so you can hang
I
around
have one
campus.
right here.
Well, it does no good if all your music and all your playing happens in your little cubby by yourself.
I don't like
Mm-hmm.
to let people know.
Sure.
I only sing
Wonder
in
what's that
public.
like.
I only sing in public. I don't do anything else because I'm too awkward.
Then why do you bitch at me because I won't play like in front of other people?
I don't. I want to hear you play one time.
Yeah.
That's different. If you came over, I'd be like, oh, hey, I can do some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call you out in front of a room full of people. I just want to hear you play one day.
Play the Top Gun theme song.
And so, oh, you can play the piano really good. I don't know how to play it. Just fucking...
You know what I forgot that we learned the other day, Keith? Was that
What?
Jurassic Park. I forgot we knew that way back in the day.
Wait, what?
The Jurassic Park theme song.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. Because I
There's a
remember
lot of
November. I remember November Rain and Top Gun theme song and Faith No More. What is it? Not the real thing. Is it the real thing? Ding 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 ding. You know, the piano part. Oh, what is it? I think it's I don't know.
I
But
forgot
yeah.
a lot of the stuff I used to know, and every once in a while it pops in my head like, oh my God, I know this.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's how I am with guitar.
Yeah,
I start playing something, I'm like, oh, wait, I know how to play that song. Oh, I know that song, too.
that's good.
But you don't realize it until you get into it.
But it's fucking me up now because I'm thinking like I know this song like the back of my hand. Well, literally with piano. And then I start it, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't necessarily know it. I forgot it. It's been too long. And that's one thing that I don't pick up like riding a bike. Drina, sorry, I said Drina. Drina's back with her answer. She says, yes, she believes in true love and she's still looking. I can't let any bad experiences keep me from allowing someone special in. I don't want to miss out on a together union because I met someone who didn't understand what we means. And um, I I gotta say the we word capitalized especially is a big aspect of relationships with me. I always I always am telling people I want you to be a part of my life, but I don't want you to be my life.
Yeah.
Don't control everything. Don't ask. I want you to be a part. I want to share in the experiences together. I want to have the same agreements as Gabe over here and the same arguments at the same time that flare us up, but not arguments that lead to violence or brutal things or anything like that, but just standard arguments to learn from each other. And that is the we experience. It's taking the two worlds, no matter what, when you're in a relationship, you're going to have to fuse them together. And if somebody's always trying to fuse and the other one's not moving, you're not going
Right.
to get anywhere.
And you have to be ready for that.
Compromises.
Yeah. And it's really hard when you find so many things you like to understand that this person isn't moving. You know, you love so many aspects about them, but they're never going to create a union together. And as Drina says, I think that was really, really well put. As she even said with Together in Union, because you met someone you didn't understand that. And keep hoping, because it's out there. I do believe
is.
it's out there.
Absolutely.
You always think we're the only ones that feel the way we do. And we don't. We're not. We're in our own little bubble, but there's a whole world beyond that bubble. And there's millions of people in this world that think the way we do. We just got to find them. And it's not going to be the one you look at and say, that's the one I'm going to marry. For some people, they're lucky and it is. But for a lot, it's not going to be.
It's work.
Yeah. Drina also says, I also don't want to be an added loss in someone's family. We don't have to do everything with the family and friends. I, oh yeah, absolutely on that one. I've been there. You don't have to do everything. Go ahead, Brad.
I was just gonna say, yeah, every now and then man, you need that personal fucking space, of just me, and then you go do you. We'll do
Mm-hmm.
us fucking separate.
Time
You
apart.
totally need that.
Time apart is 100% equally important as time together.
It
Fuck
is.
yeah, it is, man. You fucking need us.
I see people that spend every single thing they got to do. They have to be together in every aspect, or the same. Like, it's going to be your downfall.
Not necessarily. I mean,
In a
again,
sense.
but it goes back to it's you have to find somebody that is into the rule of what you want out of a relationship. And if your relationship is one that is always with family and friends and you want to be together, then sometimes that's going to work. But where it falls apart is when one of the people in the relationship is like, no, fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of your friends. I'm tired of your family and things like that. And that's when it falls apart, because you're putting trust in someone that you're going to agree to those same rules of a relationship throughout your whole life, and that you are prepared to see them die and spend your entire life with them. So it's all about being on the same page for as long as you can.
So I just have to butt in real quick because
Sure.
I don't think it falls apart where one side decides that they don't want to necessarily be involved all the time with that. I think when it falls apart is where there can't be a compromise between
Yeah.
the two parties, right? Because if someone's very family oriented and they're together with someone who isn't,
Right.
it's okay, so we don't have to spend all the family events together. But these, this one, that one, the other, ABC, whatever, all the family has to be there. All the other ones, you can do what you want. It's not a big deal, right? And then it works, right? It doesn't fall apart unless, both parties are too stubborn to make a compromise for the sake of the relationship.
Right in line with that, Drita says, I love having somewhere to go, like family and friends, allowing a moment to breathe,
Right.
which is important. It's the escape. Apart, but together. Trust. And trust is the key word on everything. And I know a lot of people that the reason they got to
The
stay
one thing-
together all the time is lack of trust when they're apart. What were you going to say, Brad?
I was just gonna say, yeah, trust is the number one key ingredient in any fucking relationship.
Yeah, and it comes in a lot of forms, and a lot of times people don't realize they distrust somebody. They really don't. They don't know why they don't want them going out or doing their own thing. They're not thinking they're distrusting them, but that is what's going on in a lot of
Oh, it
cases.
is. 100%.
You know, and to add to it, when I said, and Gabe rebutted, which is true, it's going to be your downfall, I kind of meant if there's a downfall, that's usually going to be the cause of it. You know, that's going to spiral out there. Because Drina also responds to this as an opportunity to miss each other. You can't appreciate somebody the same if you spend no time apart from them. And
Yeah.
if
And
you've
if you
ever
have
had, go ahead.
Sorry. If you have a problem, you need to talk about it, because there's so many relationships where people just linger and commit, and they stay in these relationships, and they just build stacks and stacks of resentment over years of
It's
people
got-
without ever talking to them about what they really want out of a relationship. And they just hang in there for no reason.
And that's with everybody. That's with friends too.
Sure.
That if you don't discuss things openly, you're harboring stuff that's causing anger and not allowing the other person to have a chance to change that,
Yeah, you
or
gotta get it
alter
out.
it or understand. So everything you're feeling, they have no idea you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
They think everything is fine because you're not talking about it. I actually my brother was over, and we actually got in a fight the last time he was over. And it was basically a buildup of shit that we just don't talk about because we're happy to see each other. We don't want to bring up bad things. We don't want to, you know. And I mean, we're fine now, but you got to get that out. If you don't discuss things with people, they don't know. I had somebody else, a roommate for a while, or not really, my roommate's son was living with me, and he was having an issue. He's like, he wasn't comfortable with the way sometimes people talk to him. You know, putting down. I said, yeah, but everybody thinks it's fine because you've never brought it up.
Right.
You've never said, hey, this isn't it. So people can't change what they don't know they need to change, or alter, or be a little bit different, or more cautious in what they say. Because we all have triggers. We all have things that somebody's going to say that it's just going to set something off within us. And it's important to get that in relationships and not get pissed because of it. You
And
know,
if you're going to get pissed, don't be the silent, stoic, I'm going to give
Yeah.
you stares, but I'm never going to tell you what's wrong. You know, I want you to guess. Cause
yeah, I
that's-
love that one.
Right.
And that's the thing. You can't because you think things are great. Anthony's looking up here.
I've just got another screen up there.
Oh, much more interesting than us. I got it. Okay. It is us.
I don't
already-
have a lot
I
to
know.
add to this topic.
Okay, that's true. I guess that's kind of true. But actually, I think you do a lot. I don't think you always express the things you're thinking about. You don't have to add it, but this show alone, you don't always express it for fear that it's going to start an argument. And I do that with other people too. Like, I have a problem. I want to bring it up. I want to talk about it. But I have a fear that if I do, it's going to cause a fight. And if that's the case, and like Audrina said with the trust, then you're not trusting that person to understand you, and that is not something that's going to create a good relationship, period, whether it be friends, family, or companion.
Of course.
Way, partner. Go ahead, Brad. You look like
The
you're going to
whole
say
point of love. You gotta grow together. That's the whole point.
right.
You can't grow if you don't trust and if you don't talk, or if every now and then you don't fucking argue. Because every now and then you have to argue. It's helpful.
If the seeds are in one hand and the water's in another and the dirt is in the middle, nothing is going to happen.
No, fuck it.
You know, you've got to learn to combine them together. And none of those three objects knows what to do without the other one.
No, 'cause
And
they-
when you learn that's how you do, you got to keep taking care of it, keep adding to it. And
It's heat lamps, a good,
Ventilation system.
a good
Yes, yes,
strain, some ventilation system.
Yeah. Timers. pH tester because you want to make sure the water's not too acidic or
Sure.
Right,
You
absolutely.
want to make sure that your electric is on a separate
separate grid. Yep.
grid as well, so you don't want to short out your electrical.
And you know you got to make sure you have the proper nutrients to promote you know the good growth for a nice full flower.
Absolutely. You don't And make sure you don't keep any loaded weapons
No.
in
no.
there at all.
Got to keep it under lock and key
That's
because you
the
don't want other
only
people
way.
to get to your flower. Like
Right.
that's your special thing.
That's the only way a
Yeah.
relationship works.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the metaphors right now, but when you're starting talking about loaded weapons and locks and keys, I don't know if you're necessarily being conductive to the relationship aspect.
Well, but okay, so the plant is your relationship. Sometimes you don't need to be those people that let everybody know what's going on with your relationship, the nitty gritty details. So you that does help to keep your relationship, under lock.
Oh,
and
I
key
thought you were
from
talking about
public
keeping
eye.
your partner under lock and key.
No. This
Maybe
is
that's why I
working
can't have a
together
relationship.
with your partner. Yeah, you don't want to lock your partner up.
Well, okay.
Unless she's into that.
Is that why she's constantly banging on the walls in the basement?
Could be. That could be. Do you at least does she have access to water and food?
I mean, I go down and feed her every once in a while.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's not healthy.
It's probably
No,
not.
water's very
Yeah.
healthy. Water's very healthy.
Okay.
Well, I think he's talking like mental health.
Oh, yeah, it
you-
does mess me up a little bit, I guess.
Like you
Yeah.
Brita that at least.
I give her a smart water on, like, holidays.
Should you have a bucket to use as a
Oh,
bathroom?
boy. Does she put lotion on its skin?
Well, she doesn't want the hose.
Okay. All right. All right. Fair enough.
All right. on that note,
escalated quickly.
on that note, this is we covered a lot of ground tonight. Everybody, please disregard like the last 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah, please.
It never happened. But I want to thank everybody for being here again, once again, for our open forum show, because we have a lot of fun doing it. It's good to talk about different things. The chat was a little weak today. Sometimes it's very strong. Sometimes not so much. Drina was really glad to have you here, and everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody being here. Coming up on our next show on Wednesday, You Be the Judge, or better yet, Don't. This was supposed to be last week. It has been changed because we had no power over here, so we couldn't do it last week, so we're just moving it. Our schedule has all been shifted forward about a week or two for when we couldn't do our shows on there. And what that's going to be about pretty much is we are all judgmental people, but we don't realize it in one
fuck
aspect
you
or
say?
another. Like Gabe's a total asshole. But he doesn't.
I judge
Agreed.
the fuck out of everybody.
Agreed.
But we really do, and we don't always realize we do it, and that's what it is. And when is judging people right, and when is it wrong? Because sometimes there is a reason to judge people, and a lot of times, more often than not, it's wrong, and you don't know the person inside. And again, that was kind of the birth of this show, was not knowing beyond your own judgment. We're going to talk about that on our next show coming up Wednesday. We'd love to see you on there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow Your Shoulder Voice on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're on all those. You can chat live during every show, and we will respond to you. You can also call into the show at YourShoulderVoice.com or chat anytime you want to. Simply go to our Facebook page, messenger us. We will talk to you about anything on your mind. It does not have to be in the public forum. Just message us through the messenger, and somebody at Your Shoulder Voice will be happy to talk to you about absolutely anything. That's what we're here for as well. Or go to our website, YourShoulderVoice.com, and join the social network we're building over there, just for people that like to talk and like to help others with their problems or have problems of their own, but don't want to necessarily do it in the public eye as far as their friends and family are concerned. They want a separate space for that. That's what we're trying to develop for that. So I appreciate everybody being here. Bill, we lost Bill. I don't know what happened. I think he lost connection. Something happened to him. But thank you, Bill, for being here. Anthony, always a pleasure. You were a little more talkative today. I appreciate that. You definitely had some good input. We love to hear about
I wasn't so hungover.
Good.
Yeah. It's the hangover that makes it always start a little bit on the weak side. You know. And Gabe, absolutely fantastic. You look like you're tired and ready to get some rest.
Yeah, a little
Honestly,
bit.
I saw you. It almost looked like you were drifting off in the middle of the conversation. I'm like, Gabe's eyes are closed. So
No, it's been a long week. That's all. But I'm
it
here.
has been. Oh, yeah, we always love having you here. You always have a lot of great things to say. Brad, your first show, absolutely loved having you on here. It was fantastic.
Enjoyed it.
I love your openness. I love your honesty. I love that you're willing to talk about anything. That's exactly the sort of people we need on here, and really happy to have you be with us tonight. So thank you to you. Thank you to everybody in the chat. This has been absolutely fantastic, and we'll see you again on Wednesday for Your Shoulder Voice. You all have a great night. Take care. Bye.
Bye now.
Hey guys, Keith Lippin here for Ear Shoulder Voice. While you're here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow so you can be notified of all our upcoming broadcasts that we'll be bringing to you live every week. Or head on over to our brand new social network and website, earshouldervoice.com, where you can be notified of all our show schedules, suggest new topics, join others like you in a judgment-free zone, or be a guest panelist yourself. So, Brad, what'd you think?
So it was right on, man. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, you were good on here. It was
Thanks
nice.
for having me on.
It's definitely
Yeah,
nice.
for sure, man.
Yeah. Well, we got to take a vote. Is Brad worthy of being on other shows?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yes, you're in. That was all it takes. Just
Oh.
us three. It's definitely becoming more of a male show. Like our females have dwindled. Hopefully, they'll be coming back soon. We'd like to mix it up
It's
a little
probably all my fault. I scare them all away. I'm just an asshole.
bit. Oh, we're going that route again. Only Elena, but Elena likes battling with you.
I don't know why.
I enjoy that though.
It's tiring.
But it's good. It's good. I don't know. I enjoy those times when she's on.
Yeah.
And
it's
spirited
great having
debates, and I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
Depending on the topic.
just in general, I think
listen.
it's great.
Linny should be back soon, which will be good because she's going to be dealing with a lot of her stuff, so she'll be back on occasion.
Good.
This was good. I had fun. We covered every topic we said we were going to cover, plus a few more, even though the chat was slow. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was definitely nice. And you weren't falling asleep there, Gabe? I thought for sure you were.
No, I'm good.
I just looked over. I see Gabe like,
I did have like Red Bull
like
an hour or so ago, so maybe I was starting to drift or come down from it.
and like Brad, I'm impressed. I mean, he comes on as an aviator, then he's just a guy in his basement, then he's Magic Mike. I mean, he just kept changing.
True.
Uh,
I'm
We haven't had
man.
wardrobe
Everywhere.
changes, and he's the first one.
Right? We need one on there. All right. Well, this has definitely been nice.
it was a good time.
It was a
Absolutely.
good time. It's always a good time because we're good people. Got good people out in the chat, and it's just a fun show.
I enjoy your company, and I enjoy you.
Aw.
because you're good enough, smart enough,
Smart enough.
and doggone it, people like you.
And puts the lotion on